What if the smallest act of kindness could spark a global ripple? Today's guest has seen how one gesture can transform lives, and she's turning those moments into a movement. Nicki Dennis is a nurse leader, Reiki practitioner, and now the founder of Positive Vibes with Nicki Dennis, a podcast and growing community focused on kindness, compassion, and meaningful impact. With over 33 years in healthcare, leadership experience, and a gift for storytelling, Nikki is on a mission to reconnect us with our humanity through real stories and authentic conversations. She's launching a podcast, an online community, and so much more to help people feel seen, heard, and inspired to create their own kindness ripples. Nikki, welcome to Attention is the Currency. So good to have you on the show today.
Thanks, Daniel. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. And Nikki, we'll jump straight in
Yeah.
because you've been in leadership and service roles for decades. What made now the right moment to launch Positive Vibes?
Well, I had an opportunity now where I could actually take that leap of faith and jump into developing the positive vibes. I've always felt that in, there's a true purpose to myself that was more than just healthcare, where I could actually help people and inspire people and provide more kindness in the world.
That's really good. Well, why do you feel the world needs this type of podcast community right now in the world?
Well, we can see it by what we watch in social media or just on national broadcast TV that there's a lot of negativity out there. And although there is some positivity that is shown, it doesn't equate. And in this environment, I'm all about connecting people and showing that there is more positivity out in the world. So this is a space where I want people to come and feel held and supported and know that there is actually kindness in the world. And then that kindness that inspires within us becomes a ripple effect throughout the world.
What was the inspiration or spark that told you that this was the next chapter for you?
It was something that ignited me. I've always had this, and it comes back to when I was a director of nursing, probably back in 2013. There was a young couple, and they were wanting to get married, and it was the dying wish of the male called Daniel. So be it. And when we heard the news in the hospital, it inspired all of us and ignited in something of us to provide a wedding to them so they could actually get married together before he passed away. It actually spread the ripple effect that was in our community spread back into the local community. We had people donating flowers, cakes. Their family were coming 5 hours for the event. And it was a wonderful event, and it not only lasted there, but the inspiration that was in the room. And at the time, we didn't know, but it was actually being recorded through the media, the local media that recorded the story. And that story went tenfold throughout the world, which we were overwhelmed with. And then we actually had that act of kindness come back to us and appreciating what we did for this couple. So not only did we support the dying wish of Daniel and his wife Ashley, but we also were able to feel that come back to us tenfold, which we had no expectations when we were doing this. It was all unconditional. We just wanted to provide that kindness and to actually meet the dying wish of Daniel.
That's phenomenal. A beautiful story, great act of kindness on that. And you're not just launching a podcast, but you're actually building a global community. How do you see that evolving?
So it will evolve itself in the positive stories that we put out there. So the more and more positive stories will that we expose and put out to the world will drive that positive energy. It will attract the community, and once we have that community attracted, it will attract the people in the community to share their stories. So it's all about sharing and holding the space and building that energy up in the world so that ripple effect goes through and ignites us all.
And What sort of makes a community feel safe and supportive and genuinely human to you, even if it's on the online space?
So the community will feel safe for the fact that there is a lot of toxicity out in the world, and we expect that, because we're trying to promote something positive, that toxicity will try and affect our community. We're not here to talk about the toxic environment. We're here to actually address people, and in regards to everyone is welcome. A lot of the toxic comments out there in the social media world are from people that have been triggered. So that may be that they've got insecurities themselves, they've got issues around their egos, or got some dark thoughts. We encourage those people to become part of the community, to start being kind to themselves. First thing they can do is be kind to themselves, come and join our community. And by being kind to yourself to do that, you'll be inspired by listening to all the other kind stories that we share, and that will ignite them to be a different person and to show acts of kindness. And so that's where I feel our community is different, is that we'll be welcoming everyone, but it'll be from kindness.
It's beautiful. Well, I've had a bit of a sneak peek, and I know that there's many things happening within that community, and I know that it would be well engaged with and everything like that because I've seen a bit inside. How will you encourage people to share their own kindness stories?
So by sharing lots of stories, and we've had a lot of interest already, and we've got lots of beautiful stories to share, by our community listening to them, we'll actually encourage them to share their own and empower them to get it out there and to talk more about it. I was always brought up by, you never talk about the kind deeds that you do for people. However, if we don't talk about it, how can we live the positivity up in the world and show that the world is a kinder place? So this is about that whole ripple effect. The more we talk about kindness, the more it ignites in us, and the more we want to share, and the more positivity we can find in the world, and the positive vibes will just go tenfold.
Perfect. Well, you talk about the butterfly effect, and you've seen firsthand the butterfly effect of kindness. Can you share what that looks like?
Yeah. So again, the butterfly effect, it flutters its wings on one side of the world, and on the other side of the world can start a hurricane. That's the effect that we want in kindness, not starting a hurricane, of course, but actually just having that positive kindness around the world, vibrating consistently. And again, if we come back to the story that I talked about, that were arranging a wedding for Ashley and Daniel, for the last dying wish. We did that unconditionally. We had no expectations. And this is the thing about kindness. You do kindness acts and not expect something back. That is the joy of doing that. And it's easy, it's free, and it gives you a joy back within you. So that butterfly effect, I've actually felt myself. So after that wedding, I was in a different world for a week. I was walking on air, and then to get the response that come back from the community, not only nationally but internationally, about what how wonderful we were, and then them sharing their stories with us as well about acts of kindness, was absolutely it's a feeling of euphoria. You can't explain it. You just feel so positive within you, and to know that that actually um, is able to spread the ripple effects around the world, and then the sharing from one story to another keeps on sharing, and we keep building that energy and that positive vibe.
It's the encouragement for love and connection and valuing
Absolutely.
each other. Yeah, it's why do you think small acts matter just as much as big movements?
Well, I think around small acts, again, it's easy to do a small act of kindness. But if you think if everyone in the world could just do one act of kindness a day, imagine that compounded. Imagine that energy coming into the world where they didn't do that today, but they do it tomorrow, and everyone does it. Imagine the positivity. And then what does that kindness act do to the next person? That's where we get the ripple effect, because they feel seen, they feel acknowledged, and they feel good. So that's going to ignite them to do something kind for someone else. And that's the whole our whole methodology, our whole method of having this beautiful positive vibes throughout the world.
And what can someone listening do today to create their own kindness ripple, do you feel?
So it's easy. All you have to do is be aware, see more, hear more, look around at work, look around at home, look around when you go for a walk, look around in the shopping center. See more, look at people for people. And if you see anyone struggling, offer a hand, smile, say hello, open a door. These are just minor, small acts of kindness. And we don't know what that's going to do to that person that we've actually offered that to. We don't know what they're going through on that day. And that will ignite them to do the same to others because they've felt seen, they've felt heard, they've been acknowledged. So it's that whole easy interaction with people, but really just looking at people in the world and seeing if anyone's struggling, lend a hand.
Yeah, absolutely exceptional. And beyond the podcast, what's your bigger vision for positive vibes? There we go.
Well, there are big visions, but for now we're just focusing on the podcast and the community itself. We want to build that positivity and that movement. But there are lots of things coming, so we want and we want to be excited, and we want our viewers to be intrigued. So stay tuned because there's a lot more to come. But for now, we're just focusing on our podcast and our community.
Sounds like we're all going to follow along and wait with
Yeah,
anticipation.
absolutely.
Well, how do you plan to keep the community engaged as it grows?
So keeping the community engaged as it goes, again, telling positive stories is an act of engagement. You won't be out the people that are coming to us and the stories that we've already have already interviewed and the stories that are wanting to be told will ignite people. It's going to whether you feel inspired by them, you cry by them, or you are happy by them, and some of these stories will resonate with you. However, there may be stories that won't resonate with you, but they will resonate with you in the future because you may come across a situation that a viewer has actually told their story and you've experienced that, and then you know how to act in that moment. So it's really around more acts of kindness stories that we can tell, the more engagement we're going to get. It just feeds itself because you can't not listen to these inspiring stories and acts of kindness that we've done throughout the world.
Perfect. And the most important question of the podcast, our signature question, as we come to a close. Nikki, if attention is the currency, what should people stop spending it on and start investing it in?
So start investing in yourself, being kind to yourself, number one. That's where the acts of kindness start. Being kind to yourself and then being kind to others. Stop investing in negative conversations, negative podcasts, negative news stories. Yes, we can't change the world and bad things happen in the world, but there is a lot more positivity out in the world. So start investing yourself in those positive environments, such as positive vibes, and also investing in yourself so you can invest in others.
Perfect. Uh, Kindness starts at home, by the sounds.
Absolutely, it starts at home. You have to be kind to yourself. Believe that you're talking to a friend, not being the critic, and stopping that negative talk in your head, and also acknowledging yourself every day in the mirror. Acknowledging yourself, set yourself up for a beautiful day by acknowledging yourself, love yourself, and then that way you're going to be out there providing kindness to everyone else.
Perfect. So, Nikki, it's been inspiring to hear how you're bringing kindness, connection, and authentic humanity back into the spotlight. Listeners, you can find Positive Vibes with Nicki Dennis wherever you get your podcasts, and stay tuned for the launch and jump into the new community hub. If this conversation moved you, share it because spreading positive vibes is exactly how we make a difference. Thank you all for joining us on another episode of Attention is the Currency. Thank you, Nikki, and we'll see you all
Thank
in the
you.
next episode.
Sending you all positive vibes.